that type of stuff. But again, you're going to want mostly leads, stuff like that. People click through rate is probably the number one metric. But if you're going for 2 to 3s, you want inbound DMs. You literally don't care about messages, or that you don't care, excuse me, you only care about messages. You don't care about views. You don't care about comments. And this goes back to like a stadium example. Okay, if I have 0 to 1 and I'm trying to make $1 million off of a bunch of 16-year-olds, I need to fill like 2 to 3 football stadiums. Okay, like 300,000 views, right? Quality views. Because I'm only charging a couple $100. If I need to make $1 million off of, this kind of like 25 to 35-year-old business owner who's really honing a skill, I probably need 1 football stadium, maybe even half, right? Because, once they truly start seeing the value, they can buy in. It's a larger price point, so it shrinks how many people I need. And then if I need to make $1 million from 2 to 3s, I need like a room, like just a small ballroom. I need a dinner table. You know what I mean? It just goes down to this really simple. Would you rather have 1 million 12-year-olds watching your video, or would you rather have 10 Fortune 500 CEOs watching your video? And I want to be very clear. Depending on your business model, this might not be the wrong answer. Okay? If you could get them all to give you $5, $10, like, that's not a bad business. That's a phenomenal business. Okay? That's the Mr. Beast business. That's the Feastables business. Most people should get good at the skill and drift this way. It's just the fastest way to truly get cash flow and revenue. Anyways, let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you made it this far and you're like, man, should I listen to this guy? I've worked with, totally should have put this at the beginning of the video. Just don't really care. I've worked with probably close to $300 million in revenue across all my clients within the last 12 months of creators, businesses, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions.
Here's why you're stuck at 300 views on your videos, no matter what you do, and how to break out of it. And this is something that we consider with every single video. That's given us the amount of views we needed to grow over 148,000 followers on this account alone. So make sure you save this so you don't lose it. Share it so other people can do well on TikTok, and follow for daily TikTok growth content. Now, when you first post a video, TikTok's going to push your video out to about 300 people. And to put it simply, if enough of these first 300 people give TikTok enough signals by watching your video all the way through, or just watching a high percentage of your video, commenting it, favoriting it, sharing it, likes don't really do much, then TikTok's going to see that you've passed their little test with the first 300 people and push you out to more people. So if you're not going past the 300 view mark, then it doesn't necessarily mean that your video sucks. What's more likely happening is that you're getting put in front of the wrong people. There are millions upon millions of people on this platform, so how can you expect that the random people TikTok push you out to, even if your video is perfect, are going to like the topic of your video? But if you could somehow make sure the 300 people you get put in front of at the start are people who have engaged with videos like yours before, then you are way more likely to get the engagement from those people, which makes it way more likely that you're going to get pushed out to more and more people, past the next test, more and more people. Well, you do this through TikTok SEO, and there is a big change these days. So I'll explain what TikTok SEO is and how it's changed so you can further benefit. TikTok SEO is just a way of getting your videos quote unquote categorized. And whatever your videos get categorized as, TikTok, when they find a user, they'll look at the kind of interests that are assigned to that user, because a user gathers interests depending on what kind of videos they watch. So if the category of your video aligns with their interests, then when you first post your video and it gets categorized really quickly, you are getting put in front of people with the interest that's related to the category. So if you get your video categorized as beauty, you'll get in front of people who are interested in beauty. If you get it categorized as fitness, Pokemon, bananas, dragons, doesn't really matter what it is, you'll get put in front of people who have expressed an interest in that category, which again makes it way, way more likely for you to break out of that 300 view jail. And what you've got to do here is pick a category, which is probably the hardest bit, but generally speaking, pick a keyword or a phrase that best describes what your video is about. Make sure you speak that keyword or phrase throughout the video. Make sure you use it in your descriptions, and make sure you use it in your hashtags. That is literally it when it comes to TikTok SEO. Now, however, a lot of people do this and they still get stuck at 200 to 300 views. And this is because the categories are not specific enough. Let me put it like this. Let's say I get a video categorized as fitness. This will push my video out to 300 people who have expressed an interest in fitness. But that's so broad. There are probably tens of millions of people on here who've expressed an interest in fitness. So again, how likely is it that this random bunch of 300 people who've expressed an interest in fitness are actually going to like the very specific topic and element of fitness that your video is on? Again, it's very low. So you need to make your categorization as specific as possible. So how can you use a really descriptive and specific way of categorizing your videos to get put in front of a really specific group of people? That is how you break out of 300 view jail. And of course, there are things to do with the quality of your video, the hooks of your video, so on and so forth. But TikTok SEO, in my opinion, is one of the most important things to master first. If you're still stuck with TikTok SEO, we've got a completely free TikTok SEO webinar happening within the next week, where we teach you everything you need to know and how to implement it yourself. All you've got to do to get access to that so you don't miss it is click the link in our bio to join our TikTok growth community, where you get access to the webinar, the recap of it, and so much more. So click the link before spots run out.
2 years ago, from basically like this week, I quit my job to go all in on my business. And I've learned one major lesson that I want to share. But first, I want to just talk about where I was at and where I'm at now. I was working for a nonprofit, making maybe $3,000 a month. We didn't know this yet at the time, but we were going to get pregnant shortly after. Tons of debt. I'm talking like $30,000 to $40,000 worth of debt. And now, like today, I got offered equity to be an advisor of maybe a $4 or $5 million company. My business is probably getting close to doing six figures, maybe within the next like 4 to 5 months. And the debt is completely clean. My daughter is here. She's 1 year old and she could have a pony if she wanted to. Okay. And the number one lesson I've learned over the past 2 years is that risk is not real. Risk is not real. It literally it is a math equation, and people don't see it like that. They see it as like this hypothetical, like, will the cards be in my hand? And that is not how business works. I have in front of me 250 dots. Are you guys ready for this? I'm going to break down what 250 dots, 250 people do. Why risk is not real by taking a group of 250 people. Let's say this video gets 8,000 views.